Hello, hello, fellow Jank enthusiasts. Today we've got an interesting deck. It is built around Gilgamesh, Master at Arms. This thing is a samurai that cares about equipment. We want to be dropping large equipment from the top of our deck directly onto the battlefield, equipping him, hopefully with something that gives him haste, attacking, doing it again. As long as the equipment that we have in our deck provides some kind of value upon entering, we're going to have a good time with this. We have Dissection Tools, which brings a body on board in the form of a Manifest Dread creature, while also providing a really heckin' powerful stat buff. Then we also have Samurai's Katana, another solid stat buff and trample and haste, notably, as well as a body. So, yay. We also have Chainsaw, which is early removal that can also be spun off the top with Gilgamesh. Potentially get rid of pesky blockers to help us close out a win, right? That's the idea. We also have Firion, the Wild Rose, in here. This thing is, or Firion Wild Rose Warrior is the proper title. This card gives us, gives all of our equipped creatures haste, all of them, which is great. That opens up a lot of cool lines, especially when we're spinning into Dissection Tools and whatnot. And then we also have, it also allows anything that sticks onto Gilgamesh to give it haste. So Gilgamesh picks off a chainsaw. Okay, now it can swing. Sure, why not? Pretty powerful stuff, pretty legit. So yeah, good stuff. We also have Genji Glove. I don't think this card is good. I think this card is ambitious. By ambitious, I mean a little bit too expensive, but powerful if you get there. So it's a one of in here because I think this is the deck to put it in. Like if you don't put it in here, where do you put it? So we do have a one of in there. If you wanted to go two because you're feeling a little bit more ambitious than I am, go for it. But for my build, I'm going to rock one. As far as our ramp package is concerned, Gilgamesh is a 6-drop. We are not going to be casting Gilgamesh fairly in many situations that allow us to win, unfortunately. So, well, we need to ramp up and get to 6 as fast as humanly possible by turn 5 or preferably turn 4. The way that we're going to do that is off of the back of Llanowar Elves, because, of course, it is the single strongest ramp card in all of Standard. Now, as long as cards like Cut Down, Torch the Tower, Lay Down Arms, other one-drop interaction, granted, 2 of the 3 I just mentioned are going to be rotating soon, but even without those, Burst Lightning, Torch the Tower, and the like are still around. We still have cards like Stab or Disfigure. Actually, no, Disfigure's leaving. Stab's not. Regardless, I'm getting in the weeds here. Removal for Llanowar Elves is going to be prevalent pretty much for the foreseeable future. It just is what it is. And people will bolt the bird. They always do. But, even so, let's make them have it. Llanowar Elves is great. We're doing the thing. Now, you'll note, one of the things about the ramp package, I'm running Esper Origins as one of my secondary options. Well, I don't need a Llanowar Elves to survive in order to get value off of Esper Origins. This as a sorcery on 2 is not bad. Surveil 2 almost guarantees that we're going to hit our 3rd land drop, even if we don't have a land in hand. It increases the likelihood dramatically, which is exactly what we need for it. Additionally, the Esper Maduin mode, when we flash it back for 4, this card individually has kind of an adventure on it in a way, right? Because Maduin is going to enter, draw us a card, and be a 4/4 on the battlefield. That is incredibly noteworthy because our other ramp piece that we have in here is Lumbering Worldwagon. Damage off of this is our plan B. If we need to get there through this, we absolutely can. It's going to be hitting for a ton relatively quickly while thinning our deck by stripping all the basics out of it as we go. So that's going to allow, it's just very good. Honestly, I think Lumbering Worldwagon is one of the strongest. It might be the single strongest vehicle in all of Standard, and it's one of the best ramp pieces that we have access to. I'm a huge fan of this card, and it is our secondary option, and the way that the Esper Origins lines up alongside it is like low-key nuts. Other options here are Overlord of the Hauntwoods. That could also fit in because it also supports the Lumbering Worldwagon very, very well. I had to kind of make a cut somewhere, so it didn't survive in this build. I've had a number of other builds and probably other ones that you're going to see on this channel that do exactly that. There's something about a turn 4 full-priced Overlord of the Hauntwoods, make a token, crew the wagon, swing, get another land. That gets fun and very, very silly. But for this deck, once we get up to 5 mana, I want to be sticking equipment, and I want to be getting Gilgamesh going. So I'm going to lean into that a little bit harder, rather than what I have for other decks where I'm trying to ramp it to 8 or 9 drops. Well, we'll do the Hauntwoods thing, but for right now, I think we're good. So that's the deck. That's the idea. You also notice we have 4 Cavern of Souls in the mana base. That is not an accident. You're going to name human off that and make sure Gilgamesh sticks. Gilgamesh needs to stick. That is the name of the game. That's just got to happen. Plain and simple. All right, let's run this thing out and see if we can score some wins with this. Let's do this. We're doing Gilgamesh ramp in Gruul. Let's get silly. Also, this is actually the first gameplay that I'm recording since moving my mic, so it's not like up in my face. I'm feeling a little exposed, if if I'm honest. I don't hate it. It's different. Okay, so Llanowar Elves on 1 into potentially Boots equipping onto Elves on 2 is like decent, but if the Elves die, this hand is terrible. The Dissection Tools are basically dead, so I'm going to go ahead and mulligan this. This is actually worse, so I guess we're going down to 5. This is similar to the opening hand, except, actually a bit worse. Yay. Alright. Note to self, be sad. Alright, cool. So I'm going to lead off with the Llanowar Elves. We're going up against Golgari, so the chance of this Llanowar Elf surviving here is like, I don't know, 5%. Oh, Sultai, okay. Holy crap, it lived. I really ought to go buy a ticket. Buy a lotto ticket of some kind. Fun fact here, if they have a Dispelling Exhale, I would have been able to pay for it. Which is really funny to me. Okay, so Llanowar Elves are coming in. Am I actually going to be able to ramp exclusively off the back of Llanowar Elves here? That'd be neat. Alright, opponent, do you have a 3-drop? Glarb! I was not expecting Glarb. Alright, here's the Dissection Tools. I guess we're gonna put that face down. It's not ideal, but it's fine. And we actually have a turn 4 Gilgamesh here. This was the gumpiest setup, but doggone it. Turn 3 Dissection Tools into a potential turn 4 Gilgamesh? I'm excited. Alright, so the mull to 5. Maybe it was exactly what I needed. I don't know. We'll see. So Glarb Calamity's Augur is a really interesting card that incentivizes you for running, like, big, expensive stuff. I'm very curious if they're running big, expensive things. Now, okay, there is an island over there. So I'm going to be cautious here. I'm going to go ahead and offer this trade. They don't take it. Okay. Now, fortunately for me, Esper Origins... Yeah, Esper Origins does represent a 6-mana play here, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. You know what? They don't need to know Firion coming. Yeah, they don't need to know. We're good. We're good. Alright. Sick. So, this next turn, we're going to have a ton of mana available. I'm just really hoping they don't keep up a counterspell. Awaken the Outer Dead. Okay, cool. Now, it looks like they will, but if... Well, a 2-mana counterspell is not the end of the world. Ooh, although... Madwin was a little bit of ramp. That I sure could have used. Ooh. Okay. Do just rip it and make him have it? You know what? I'm gonna keep slow rolling because Firion teeing this up has an opportunity to be nothing short of disgusting. And I enjoy when stuff is disgusting. It's my favorite. Alright. I'm just gonna keep plugging away with these dissection tools. I'm playing awfully cautiously here. Probably more so than I should. But doggone it. Yeah, man, if I forgot on top of your library. Alright. Yeah, go for the throw it on top. They put it away. Okay, that's interesting. Mill 3. Cornucopia, Duress. Some kind of Sultai control with Glarb? I'm not 100% sure what I'm looking at. But it's interesting. And I'm sure they're looking at my deck going like, I'm not 100% sure what I'm looking at. But it's interesting. Alright, tap in your Death Toucher. Surveil 2, leaving both things on top? Interesting. Well, didn't get all dressed up for nothing. Let's grip it and rip it. It actually resolved. Alright, so we got all these crazy Firion triggers. And these chainsaws are gonna absolutely just light that frog up. Which seems pretty cool to me. We're gonna get multiple katanas. And I'm gonna go ahead and equip that chainsaw to Gilgamesh. Which makes it just a little bit better. And I'm gonna go ahead and equip one of these chainsaws that only costs 1 to equip onto my face down duder. Just to get a little bit more oomph. A little bit more life-linking power into the mix. Full whiff on the on the secondary Gilgamesh trigger, but we've got lethal here, assuming that it connects. Now there's still pauses. Smuggler surprise. There we go. All right, what you got? What you got? Bahamut and Fangkeeper's familiar. That could hurt me pretty badly. Well, let's see. All right, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. It's a bummer they didn't do that in response to the or before. If I were there, I probably... Well, no, they wanted to commit me into the attack. Or they wanted to have me commit to the attack. It makes sense. These chainsaws are getting pretty sick, though. I dig that. Boosh, boosh. All right. And these chainsaws continue to just get crazy, and I like that. All right. So I lose the tokens, including the one that's attached to my face down duder. Mildly inconvenient, not the end of the world. All right. All right, so yeah, they're going to target Firion here. Makes sense. That said, the Samurai Katana gives trample, and with the face-down creature currently having Death Touch, that could be lethal right there. Not to mention the chainsaw in the mix as well. To be fair, equipping for 5 is, like, crazy expensive, but what can you do? All right, they're attacking with Bahamut. That tells me they have another Smuggler Surprise, like, teed up or something. It's kind of what it looks like, anyway. There's no way they don't, right? I'm overthinking this like crazy. But that is what I do. So... as they say, make him have it. Alright, what you got? Only 3 cards in hand, so it's a Smuggler Surprise. They do have a Glarb, and then presumably one other thing. If it's a Bahamut, I'm just gonna be sad. 2 Odins, GG's. I mean, yeah, on the attack back, they got it. Oh, actually, no, they don't. Just kidding. So they have to block. So these 2 trade off. Or no, actually, because I lose the elf, they do. I'm not able to play out a chump blocker. All right, game 2. I made them use every single card in their hand, but they found 2 Smuggler Surprises and, well, had all of the cards in their hand. So, is what it is. All right, I'm feeling like Untimely Malfunction could be really good to deal with Bahamut and Odin. Like, shockingly good, so I'm for sure going to bring that in. Being able to reroute that is potentially amazing. I'm also not sold on the... Well, Chainsaw is part of our core here, so I probably shouldn't drop it completely. Let's try this. Power 61. Let's go. Untimely Malfunction might be a little bit of a overcorrection, but I stand by it. Alright. Let's see what we got. You know what? I'm going to trust in Esper Origins. I'm sure this is going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's fine. Honestly, though, I'm glad to see Smuggler's Surprise getting some love. Out of all the cards our opponent could play there, I'm not mad getting beat up by that one. It's been one of my favorites since it came out in Thunder Junction, so yeah, can't be mad. I mean, I could be, but it's not reasonable. All right. So here we go. Yeah, Sultai Smugglers. Okay, we're gonna go original recipe Esper. Honestly, we just need land. I'm so torn here. I'm gonna pick it up. There is a high likelihood that I'm gonna regret this. But let's go. Let's do it. Yep. Mistakes were made, y'all. Yep. Yeah, I needed to just mulligan this hand. In this matchup, this is terrible. And keeping that on top. The Virtue of Persistence was live. I missed a land drop. Yep. And I draw 2 5-drops in a row. Cool. No, that's totally fine. Totally fine. Totally acceptable. Normal, normal scenario. Yeah, this is over. I'm gonna be genuinely shocked if, Oh, why didn't I just blow that up, like, immediately? Yeah. Not much of a thinker. I don't know if you knew that. If I may. And even if I may not, I'm still gonna, so deal with it. Alright, sick. There it is. That's the thing I needed. That's honestly kind of tempting, so I could double dip and take Glarb out, but no. I'd like to increase our odds of actually finding Gilgamesh now, because that's got to happen. All right, Madwin getting throated, not great. I'm gonna enjoy when cut down and go for the throat, leave the format, because it's gonna force some people to get a little bit more creative with their removal package. I'm very curious to see how the black removal suite is gonna shake out post rotation. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna name Human. And here's an uncounterable Firion. Seems decent. And I'm going to hope that they hit a go over the throat here so I can reroute it and take out Glarb. I think that'd be cool. Can't do anything about that, unfortunately. Because Smuggler's Surprise has no targets. Oof, but only finding the Glarb and some lands there. I mean, they find the land. That could be huge. But none of their big monsters. So that's good. Oh, and they just take 2 lands. They don't worry about picking up Glarb. Interesting. Okay, tap Surveil. Yeah, treat yourself. Now, should I Untimely Malfunction that Cornucopia? Well, now it's a little late. So just kidding. We're just going to leave this open. Again, in case of removal and whatnot. Surveil with Glarb on top. Okay, okay. Or with Glarb opening the top, I should say. They can see their top card right now. But they choose to leave it there. It's a bold choice. I want to attempt to destroy the Cornucopia right now because that is... They have 6 mana available. If that's gone, they do not. So if they want to Smuggler Surprise, now's their chance. This is their end step. They choose not to. Let's go. All right, sick. I'm going to rock out these Dissection Tools. I enjoy a Firion Dissection Tool situation. Seems decent. Let's get a Gilgamesh online. Well, let's get 2 Gilgameshes online. I mean, they're not like online, but they're here. Albeit face down. So I'm guaranteed to have a Gilgamesh flippable next. Well, if I get a land. If I can get a land, I'll be able to flip it next turn. And that's decent. Yeah. They probably should have blocked the one that had the token equipped to it. Probably would have been... Well, it 100% would have been better for them. Like, by kind of a pretty wide margin. Glarb! Hello. Glarb is back again. Tell yo, friends. Awaken the Undead. Ooh, I'm guessing they're going to go after Firion here. That's probably the correct call. That's what I would do. But they're going after the Dissection Tools? Ooh, that's a choice. Okay. So Firion's still here. Well, that's neat. Do I drop Dissection Tools? I think we just gotta drop Dissection Tools and swing, right? Like, manifest all of our lands onto the battlefield? Another Gilgamesh? Sure. Oh, and that puts the Esper Origins in the bin. That's exciting. Yeah, and then full send, call it a day. Boom, baby. Alright, so I feel like we were getting very unlucky on our draws, and it just didn't matter because our opponent ended up having worse draws than we did. So, sick, I'll take it. Guess who is not too good for that? This guy right here. Alright, so Lithomantic Barrage here. Targeting white or blue. That can kill Glarb. Well, to be fair, I mean, like... Yeah, they're all in on Glarb, it would seem. Maybe that's the right move. I think a split of those is probably a good idea. 2 Untimely Malfunctions. Like, keeping them in there for that top end is still decent, but... I'm thinking some more consistent ways to blow up their dudes is probably the way to go. Sword of Once in Future is also interesting here. Doesn't do anything about Bahamut, but anything wielding this is immune to Odin, so that's interesting. Maybe we slot that in? Or maybe I don't stress it. Let's just rock it out. Honestly, I feel like Swiftfoot Boots are doing basically the same thing without the stat boost, but I don't have enough spells to merit the that sword. It's primarily here in case of... Ooh, here we go. It's primarily there to help out with the Dimir matchup. At least that's the idea. Yeah, that's the idea. If I'm honest, there's a non-zero chance I'm going to cut it before too terribly long, but yeah, there we have it, folks. Ooh, they actually bolted the bird. You know what, opponent? I'm proud of you. Good work. Yeah, I'm gonna Esper them Origins. Let's go. While we carpe those DMs. All right. Well, just gonna go ahead and stick this. Let's get our Surveil on. Our opponent did miss a land drop, which is pretty rad. And we actually were able to mill away a flashback. That's fantastic. I love that. Let's go. Yeah, our opponent's missing land drops. This is rough. I'd like to Lumbering Worldwagon if you have a 2-mana counterspell. You know, that thing I've been playing around this entire match for no reason. Alright. I think we're okay. Alright. Yeah, our opponent's just getting mana screwed. This is an unfortunate way to win what has been a pretty good match. It's definitely not the way I want to go. I'm gonna name Human. And I'm just gonna friggin' grip it and rip it. So, uncounterable, so it's for sure gonna enter. And let's see what we spin into here. Yeah. GG's opponent. All right, we did win the proverbial coin toss here. This is a 6-lander. This is a goofy keep. Probably shouldn't keep it, but we're going first. We only have a 36% chance of drawing another land here, according to my untapped overlay. So, screw it. Let's run it out. Okay, chainsaw. Excellent, because if my day keeps going this way, I might break something tonight. All right, going up against Golgari. There's a non-zero chance that this is going to find a target here before too terribly long. Bushwhack? Okay. Bushwhack. Oh, apparently, yeah, a card that's in Foundations. I was thinking that was from, it was originally from Brothers War. So I assumed it was going to be rotating, but no, not quite yet. Just going to go ahead and keep on elf slapping. Because when in doubt, give me the old elf slap. Overlord of the Hotwoods on 3. Okay, our opponent's, getting off to a relatively slow start, but a good start. And of course, we draw another land. Natch. All right, cool. And we also got to surveil away another land. Neat. All right, so they now have 5 monies. Overlord of the Hauntwoods coming on in. Okay, they're ramping. Oh, lordy, they're ramping. Holy lands, Batman. All right, let's go ahead and surveil away another land. Actually, nah, Dissection Tools are fine, if not amazing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and send this. See what happens here. Crunchy crunch. Okie dokes. Gonna go ahead and pass it. Yeah. Dissection Tools on the top here is a little sad. Odinia's, okay. So yeah, my little face down duder is gonna eat it here. Mildly unfortunate, not the end of the world. No blocks, bring it on in. So this is probably some flavor of Abzan and Yuna. That deck is everywhere. I'm gonna go ahead and chainsaw Odin real quick. I'm gonna skin stuff raw again because my day, if it keeps going this way, I just might put away another land, get another Worldwagon online. Sure, might as well. We do have Gilgamesh in here, right? We also have not found an Esper Origin, which would help kind of clean this up a little bit. So right now, the probability of us drawing anything but like a hardcore action is relatively low, but you know, at this point, I don't really have a whole lot of faith. Virtue Persistence, yeah, this is just Abzan Yuna. It's Abzan Yuna, and it's gonna work because they can full price Virtue. Yeah, we just didn't find anything. And the Virtue is going to bring back Odin, so this thing's dead anyway. I might as well. Gilgamesh on the top. Come on. You are not it. Cavern of Souls, name and human. We now have a 33% chance of drawing a land. We have seen about 1/3 of our deck, and we've seen about half of our lands. When you keep a 6-land hand, this kind of nonsense is going to happen. Yeah, they got Yuna. If we top deck Gilgamesh, there's a chance. If we don't, we lose. It's really that simple at this point. So yeah. That ain't it. Next game. Simple enough. All right, let's go to sideboards. So, the Lithomantic Barrage not being able to be countered is pretty great. It also can kill Yuna in one go. Ignores, well, but it being sorcery speed means that ignoring the ward is irrelevant. Soul Guide Lantern is for sure coming in here. For sure. All day, every day. Make no mistake about it. I think I cut Chainsaw because they just don't have anything small. Like, truly nothing. I should probably bring the other Swiftfoot Boots in. I mean, if I don't bring it in for this match, when do I? So I need to rework my sideboard. That's my takeaway there. But that's okay. That's okay. All right. So yeah, the Abzan Yuna deck is kind of everywhere. It is a beloved kind of successor to the Xur deck that has well, left us since Up the Beanstalk got banned. So yeah, people have kind of slotted the Yuna deck into that space in the meta. The big enchantment based stupid crazy value. Now, fortunately, my opponent has absolutely no idea what the heck I'm doing. So, that's nice. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna lead off with this and just put the Soul Guide Lantern down. So I can just eat their graveyard at a moment's notice. Seems like a good idea to me. Ooh, Firion, hello. You're looking fabulous, if I may say. Alright. Establish those Swifty Boots. Esper Origins, card's amazing. I'm a big fan. And actually is a really solid argument for why I should have sandbagged the Soul Guide Lantern, because I would have been able to just pick it off from their graveyard without having to crack it. Which, you know, that's a thing. I'm going to name Human, but then I'm going to play the Lumbering Worldwagon. Let us begin the rampanings, if we may. Which, we may, as luck would have it. Alright. Some red action going. Okie dokies. Yeah, now Firion independently is not going to be able to crew the Worldwagon, which is a bit of a bummer, not going to lie. It is what it is. Leyline Binding, okay. I'm tempted to crack this just to strip the Origin, so they don't have the Origin play next turn. I fear that might be just too cute. You know what, though? If I don't do this, I'm gonna regret having not done it. So let's just hit it. All right. Gonna rock this, then this. Equip. Begin the slappings. All right. Yeah. So I'm drawing Firion at a, well, furious rate. He's just apparently just always there. So, but now that I have a hexproof Firion, I love the pause there. It lets me at least believe. It helps me feel smug about that selection, that choice. So yeah, now that Firion's here, I'm hopeful that we'll be able to find. Your thing. Now any equipment that we top deck is gonna be decent. But we're not going to find equipment, we're going to find lands. I'm going to offer that trade. You want to take it? Cool. I know you think you got the better of me, but there's another. And my Swifty Boots are still here. Alright. Here comes Yuna. Oh no! Hotwoods. Okay. And I'm going to top deck a land, because that's just how this match goes. Dissection Tools. That's actually amazing. I'll take it. Gonna name Human on that one as well. Here we go. Sick. Yeah, putting the Esper Origins in the bin is rad. I'm a fan of that. Alright. So these are hastables. You know what? I think I'd like to gain 1,000,000 life. I think that's kind of what I'm feeling right now. So I'm going to go ahead and tap the one that is equipped to the token. Because the token's going to leave anyway. And this is a piece of equipment. Or this is a vehicle, rather. So it's going to... the equipment's going to fall off it. Regardless. Okay. That's a heads-up play, opponent. Choosing to block my 4/4 Death Toucher, because that could be a Gilgamesh. I guess I don't. They theoretically don't even know I have Gilgamesh in here, but I might. I mean, obviously you know I do. But they don't. But yeah, so whatever that is, they are worried about it, and that's fair. Okay. That was not bad. And the Esper Origin now being in the graveyard is also pretty huge. Because that means that the Worldwagon is going to get crewed next turn. Not to mention I'll be able to draw into something, which could be anything. Even a boat. Alright. Yeah, we're not in a bad spot here. They tapped... what? Why tap those two? Do you need 6 green for something? That seems odd to me. Especially the everywhere token. Like, that's the one that you should let the auto tapper leave up no matter what. But, okay. In general, I do have a lot of respect for not trusting the auto tapper. That's never wrong, right? All right, let's do this because we can. I think that is an acceptable draw here. Cool, cool. Let's go and equip that. That'll cost 3 to equip. I don't have that, unfortunately. Yeah, I think I throw the Dissection Tools on this one. Sack that token. Oh, and I can actually full send. It forces a block here. It's risky. I probably should have sacked Madwin, honestly, but, okay. I think that was okay. And we've got all kinds of options here. So they do have Yuna, and they will be able to use Yuna to pull the Overlord of the Hauntwoods back. So that's not nothing, but it's also not a ton. Like, if I'm them, well, actually, oh, this is for Origin. Fun fact, in my hand, not in my graveyard. I was just thinking the Restless Cottage could, like, pick that off, but it can't. Yeah, they're definitely on the back foot here. And I still haven't done my gimmick. I still haven't done the thing this deck is built to do. Which, you know, I'm not bitter or anything. It's fine. It's fine. This is fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not fine. It's not fine. Well. That strikes me as D's. Sure. If I can find a Gilgamesh, I'll be able to flip it. Of course I don't. I've only seen the majority of my deck. Why would I find a Gilgamesh? It's preposterous. All right. Really? I've literally seen 29 cards. I've seen almost 30 cards out of this deck. And, or no, I have seen literally 30 cards. Actually, more than that. I don't math good, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. It's a whole thing. All right. Speaking of not mathing good, I have not mathed out this attack. I'm just going to trust. We'll figure it out. Let's see, they can block, I mean, so something has to block the Worldwagon. And they can block 2 4s, but we have 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we got it. I figured. It definitely looked like we had it. And so, yeah. Concede by no blocks. Fair enough. Yeah. At this moment, we have seen, between both games, 50 cards? 60 cards? Have not drawn Gilgamesh or manifested Gilgamesh once. It's our 4 of build around, and it's very shy. Yeah, so that's apparently a thing. But yeah, let's run it back. All right, game 3. We got a game 3. I love me a good game 3. This is always a good time. All right, let's do this. All right, Pete. Also love that our opponent's name is just Pete Mitchell. Sorry to blow up your spot, Pete, but I appreciate you. Good luck, have fun. Also, earlier I was getting a little salty about Yuna. I'm not actually salty about Yuna. It's just a very popular deck right now, and so I can't help but have feelings. I also have disproportionate and generally unreasonable feelings when it comes to Magic cards. That's just kind of how I operate nowadays. It is what it is, and if you want to see more of that, come check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/handbox42. I'm over there 5 days a week. All right. Weekday mornings. Fun times. All right, Pete, let's do this. Good luck. Have fun. Also, by the way, my title, my title is Pack Leader. It's just because I've opened entirely too many packs. That's all that means. I'm going to keep a land-heavy hand. I don't learn my lessons. I'm not a big fan of choosing to, like, modify my behavior in the hopes of, you know, being more successful. We have the Surveil land. It's fine. Naming Hag on Cavern. Sure. All right. So, of course, we drew a land. First 2 draws, nothing but land. Yep. Yep. At least we're drawing the non-basics, so the Worldwagon can go grab the basics for us. Starting town right on 3. Very nice. Duress. Cool. Gilgamesh, you're here. I was genuinely wondering if you disappeared from my deck for some reason. Somehow, magically. Yeah. The Worldwagon getting Duress there is... I hate it. I'm very upset. Here comes the Llanowar Elves. If the Llanowar Elves survives, I have Gilgamesh next turn. So, fingers crossed. I'm not blocking squat. Their graveyard's not set up yet. Virtue, of course. Of course! Heaven forbid I have nice things. But I am going to be able to throw the Dissection Tools on 5, so I will have a board presence. And that's also going to deny the card draw Fenrir, which is pretty cool, because I'm going to have a 4/4. Unless they, like, kill it in their upkeep or something, which I'd be surprised by. So, actually, this is going to line up okay. Alright. I'm going to drop this, naming Human. And let us dissect tools. Because we can. Yeah, Swifty Boots going to the yard is a little unfortunate, but not the end of the world. They draw a card if they have the greatest creature. Greatest power creature, they do not. So, yay. Good for me. Leyline Binding, you're going to hit the tools or you're going to hit the dude? Honestly, the tools is probably the right answer, but you don't know what the dude is. Could be anything, even a boat. Alright, you're going to leave me my dude. Slick. Turn 6, Gilgamesh. Yes, that is what I've been building up to this entire time. Samurai's Katana, not a bad hit. I can take that. Swing for 10. Boosh. There we go. Doing stuff. Got him. GG's opponent. Yes! We did the thing! Check it out, guys. Gilgamesh pulled it off. That was a ton of fun. I also want to give credit where credit is due. Go Calper is a Twitch user who actually submitted the majority of that deck. I did tweak it a little bit with kind of my own spin on the ramp package, but at the end of the day, that was one that was submitted into my Brew Queue, which is a third-party service that I have on my Twitch channel, where viewers can submit decks, and I feature them specifically on Tuesdays over there. It's a lot of fun, and that was one that kind of caught my attention. And I just wanted to really explore it, and I gotta say, I thoroughly enjoy it. Although that sideboard, that nonsense that sideboard is, that's on me. I'll own that. Additionally, those were the only 2 games that I recorded. I sat down with the plan of getting some gameplay for the Gilgamesh deck, and I only had to get 2 games to get 2 good matches. Both went to game 3. We won both of them. That doesn't happen often, honestly. I usually do have some losses in there. So I just want to call it out that, like, you know, it was only 2 matches, but in 2 matches, 100% win rate. I'll take that. That's pretty cool. So, thank you for checking out the video. It means a ton. Also, huge thank you to the patrons. I appreciate you. And also, thank you to everybody who subscribes over on Twitch. That is the biggest chunk of my income right now, and it makes a huge difference. I stream Monday through Friday, starting at around 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is easily the biggest chunk of my income right now. So thank you for everybody over there making it possible. I really do appreciate it. And if you want to see more experimentation like this and more yammering, I do it a lot over there. But yeah, Angry Jellyfish, Davey, Hal, Carl, Levi Grattan, Big Mamu, and Vance, you're beautiful. Thank you. Catch you on the next one, everybody.